Hello YouTube gardeners. I hope you're having a beautiful spring season. There's just nothing like growing your own vegetables. The garden is my place of relaxation. I love after a stressful day coming out and just planting something or pruning something or just enjoying the incredible beauty of all of these different plants growing. These beautiful blossoms are going to be a Dark Galaxy tomato. I grew these for the first time last year and they are incredibly beautiful. And not only are they unique and beautiful, but they're super tasty. So we have lots of specialty tomatoes growing in the garden, but we are growing many more of our dependable favorites, which are basically the beefsteaks and the husky cherry tomatoes. Love those plants. They're so sturdy and dependable. They produce a ton of large cherry tomatoes. All right, so now that all of the tomato plants are in their permanent locations, there is lots of maintenance and care to be done to make sure that we get a great harvest this year. You can see here that I've already started staking up the tomato plants. We have lots of areas that are growing tomato plants, so I have more staking up to do. Some of them I'm going to be string trellising. These are going to be growing up these little stakes. Actually, they're very, very large stakes. I think they're about 6 feet tall. And I have them driven deep, deep down into the soil, so they're very sturdy. And I'm going to be coming through and removing all of the lower stems. Bacteria is in the soil, and when I'm watering, the bacteria can bounce up onto the leaves and spread throughout the plant. So what I do is remove all of the lower stems and any stems, any leaves and stems that are discoloring like these. So all of these are going to get removed in case there is a bacterial problem already starting, and to prevent one in the future. So this step is going to take quite a while because I have about 40 tomato plants growing. You can see here, in here, got some discolored leaves. All of these stems need to go. Anything that looks unhealthy doesn't need to be around. So I'm going to remove them and just make sure that the plants stay as healthy as possible. So this group of tomato plants are doing wonderful, very beautiful, lots of tomatoes already setting in. Now I'm going to head over to another location where the tomato plants are going to be string trellised. Here's a blackberry bush. My husband built this beautiful arbor. Our berry plants did really bad last year due to the extreme heat we get here in Southern California. So now we have shade for the berry plants, and when it gets really, really bad, I could drape a shade cloth over our berries. So they're gonna do amazing this year. We have some horseradish, lots and lots of garlic, lots and lots and lots of garlic. We love garlic, so we grow a lot of garlic. And here we have some more tomato plants. These are doing great as well, but it is time to get them trellised. Last year I string trellised on this fence line. You can see here the little eye hooks up there. And this year a simpler way popped in my head. So I'm just going to take the string that I used last year and staple gun it to the bottom of the fence supports, and then probably tie it off, since I already have the little eye screws up there, tie it off. And then I'm gonna get these little round string trellising clips and just train the plant up that way. So instead of taking the string and then I was twisting it around the main stem, the string is gonna be following the fence line, stationary, and then I'm just gonna get these little plastic hooks and then just be attaching the tomato plant as it grows up. So that's gonna be way easier for me. So here's the clips I was talking about, and I got them on Amazon. They were very, very inexpensive. So if you're interested, just drop me a comment and I'll let you know the description of these guys. So it's going to be very easy. Just clip this around the stem, make sure that the string is in there, and then close it. Now, as far as supporting the pepper plants, they're quite a bit easier. They don't get near as tall as the tomato plants. So I just use bamboo stakes because they're really strong and they're attractive. And I believe the majority of them I've gotten at Home Depot. And I just make sure that they're put pretty deep into the soil so that they're nice and secure. And then I'll just use the garden ties, those green garden ties, to secure the stem of the pepper plant around the bamboo stake. I will also go in and remove all of the bottom leaves of the pepper plants for the same reasons that I mentioned for the tomato plants. And here is another raised bed where the tomatoes are growing in the back. They're going to be trellised up this lattice. And then the rest of the bed right now is lots and lots of lettuce and Asian greens, another round of Asian greens starting. So now that the tomato plants are starting to blossom, the next step is going to be getting them side dressed with some Dr. Earth fertilizer. And I've really loved using this product. It's high in calcium, which we all know is very important for tomato plants and pepper plants. Calcium is key in the cell wall development of those plants for healthy fruits. Okay, so I'm just gonna come in here and remove all of the bottom stems. Just clip those away. And I'm gonna end up with lots of room to side dress these guys with some Dr. Earth. A couple more to remove. This plant is not going to miss them at all. All right, well, for the sake of speeding up the video, I'll finish later, but I'm just gonna get a handful of this Dr. Earth fertilizer. Drop it down there, take my handy dandy 3-fingered tool and just scratch it in around the base of the plant so that next time I water, that this fertilizer doesn't just float away. So here's a better shot of the tomato plant now that all of the lower stems are removed. See, there's lots of area now to side dress the plant, and no stems are touching the soil, so reduces the risk of bacteria from the soil bouncing up into the leaves. Oh, the sprinklers are turning on. All right, all of my leafy greens just got a nice drink of water, and some of the heads of lettuce are already bolting. But I've got lots of heat-tolerant lettuce starting, like this Red Cross. So we're gonna have plenty of leafy greens for the next couple of months. All of our peppers, chilies, and tomato plants have these little irrigation soaker hoses. Those only give them water a few times a week, and the water that comes out of those is very minimal. So we make sure to water our peppers, chilies, and tomatoes once a week with a deep, deep water, usually a compost tea, or if fruit is setting in, like now, then they're gonna get an Epsom water. And then of course, when the high temps come in, then we'll probably go to a twice a week deep water. And I like to use this moisture meter because this gives a good reading of how it's doing deep, deep into the soil. This location is turning out to be my favorite location for growing tomatoes of this season. It's my first time growing tomatoes over here. It's our tropical area. You can see back there the banana trees did survive the frost, but they're doing pretty poorly. Thankfully, there is some little banana trees popping up at the bottom, so We'll see how they do this year, and we're definitely going to have to get them protected this winter. So last year I had a volunteer tomato plant pop up behind the lavender, and I didn't really take care of it. I was just waiting to see how it'd do. Got some pretty big tomatoes off of it, and I had never considered growing vegetables over in this area. And since last year's volunteer tomato plant loved growing in this location, then I planted a few more. So I have 4 growing here, 5, and I'm about ready to put this cucumber in here as well, and I'm gonna train up the fence line. So I just got done feeding them, gave them a bunch of Dr. Earth, removed all of the lower stems so they're all cleaned up. Got some arugula growing in between each plant. Looks so beautiful. And I came in and removed the stems just in time. You could see here that there was something developing. So the plants are really healthy again. They really love growing in this location. So from here on out, I'm going to be removing any of the unhealthy leaves and watching for pest damage. As everybody knows, garden pests can take out a perfectly healthy, beautiful plant. I'm going to play some video footage from a couple of weeks ago where Jet and the neighbor dog do not get along at all. Okay, I think she's gone. So a couple of weeks ago, I was checking out one of my pepper beds and noticed the new leaf growth on my baby pepper plants were destroyed and shriveling up. And sure enough, it ended up being a larva infestation. Lots and lots of baby worms were hatching and just devouring all of the new leaf growth. I'll pop over there right now and see how they're doing. And here they are a couple of weeks later. The plants are bouncing back. The larva infestation is gone. Even have a little pepper blossom. Something's chewing on this though, darn it. It's a never-ending battle in the garden. You can see here, this is the sereno that I topped. There's the cut, and it's doing beautifully now. So basically there was just little baby worms that were hatching all over the different chili plants. It was about 4 of them that were infested with them. And they were nested in the tops of, this is a jalapeno, that one's a jalapeno. So I just topped all of them and then removed all the leaves, and now they're much happier plants. This is all new leaf growth. Thankfully, our main green chili bed has not suffered any pest damage, but the season's really early, so I'm going to be going through, checking these guys out probably daily to make sure that no critters try to take out our beautiful chili plants. All right, that's it for now. Pepper plants and tomato plants are doing great. Just going to be doing a little bit of maintenance each day to make sure that we get a great harvest. Now I'm going to get some fish fertilizer on these little baby spinach plants and get my Asian greens fed with some fish fertilizer also. Hope you guys have a great week and enjoy your garden.